March 22nd, 1983. FM 90 presents Robert Disner and Ari Hoptman in The Best of the Morning Guys. Yes, join us now for Robbie Disner and Ari Hoptman, FM 90's two funniest morning DJs in non-stop comedy. Come with us now to the world of Zanyland.
All right, well, I'll have to live with it. So, how do you do?
I do okay. I do all right. Yeah.
So, March 22nd, 1983, clearly was the first day that we ever broadcast. Does that make sense?
That makes some sense, yes. There was a lot of preparation, a lot of instruction. We were taught the difference between a Segway and a...
They didn't have Segways back then.
They did not have Segways.
We just had those little Honda Sprees or,
Yamaha
big wheels.
We had those. I never had a big wheel. My mother thought she was buying me a big wheel, but she was buying me a crazy car.
All right.
Which is fine if you had tremendous upper body strength, if you were.
So yeah. I do believe the radio station probably was being built that year or rebuilt. Was that what
Yes,
was
it was rebuilt. Maybe it was being rebuilt. Maybe it was still being rebuilt in the fall, which is why we couldn't get on the air.
I still have, and maybe I even have it right here. Was the receipt for all the equipment we bought. Look at this. I actually do have it. And that's February 1st, 1983. So
February 1st.
We're doing a little detective work here.
What kinds of things did we buy? Cart machines? Carts?
We spent $9,037. We bought a console. Yep. We bought some cartridges, styluses for the turntables. I think the turntables we held over. We had a cassette deck, the B-77 open reel recorder. That was $1,500 back then.
$1,500.
Yeah. Patch panel, headphones, a compressor limiter. It's actually really high quality stuff.
Patch panel. We actually got to be pretty good with some of those things.
we really did. Yeah.
No one was more shocked than I that I could patch things into other things. I felt like,
and we figured out how to make the reel-to-reel echo and feedback and all sorts of horrid sounds. All right, so
we would reel-to-reel to cart to back to reel-to-reel. Carts, for those of you who are uninitiated, carts. These are they look like
wheelbarrows.
Track tapes.
You would roll them down.
Yeah. They
you
look
put all
like
the generator fuel in
have
there.
30 seconds of material, or 60 seconds, and then they would loop back to the beginning. And so we would do experiments, carts to reel, back to carts, back to reel.
The benefit of carts was that the last DJ wouldn't recycle them. So you would intro the song and you'd say, here's, please tell me now, whatever. Is there something I should know? Duran. And you'd hit the button and it'd just get hissed like 30 seconds until it recycled to the beginning. So.
Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. I am Jacques Cousteau.
Jacques, I think I see.
What do you see?
I think I see a picture of Dr. Louis La Follette.
That is you silly cow, and that picture is a mirror. Let's get on with this.
We are here to tell you about the Morning Guys.
The Morning Guys have a whale of a show, including news, music, and great comedy.
And they are registered safe by the FDA.
So give a listen to the Morning Guys. They are just about the swellest guys I know.
From 7 to 8 a.m. on FM 90 WOPR.
Dr. Louis, you are standing on my foot.
Ça, Jacques.
All right, good. Well, we have the timeline here worked out. February 1st, 83 was when this was written. It was not paid till April 18th, 1983. As recommended by Dr. Stanley Rumbaugh, Assistant Superintendent of Management Services. So what happened there, I guess, was we were rebuilding the radio station. We got a grant from Continental Cablevision, I remember, for about $10,000. We spent most of that.
Right.
And that's why we did not come on the air until March 22nd, 1983. Did we do this senior year, too?
No, we just did that year. And then we both got, well, I know I got too busy the next year to do any more radio. I wanted to, but
we did this for like 3 months?
Something like that. But
that was it?
That it's like Farrah Fawcett, you associate her with Charlie's Angels, and she did one season,
I mean, it caught on so fast.
It did.
We went from like 3 listeners to 3.5 listeners.
3.5 listeners, yeah.
I think, and some of the listeners are currently serving like 15 to 20 in the
some of them are serving time.
Michigan penal system, but
they are actually. They are. I still get letters and postcards from them. They can't send emails, but I do get communication from Jackson, Michigan, and all points north-south.
I've got some of the bits here, the marathon moments. So what was our first bit? Do you remember?
Our first bit, yes, absolutely, was Count Streichenstick.
FM 90. Something for everyone.
He invented the match.
I invented the match.
Count Streichenstick, we'd like to ask you, how did you come about to invent the match?
Well, we used to be walking around, and we needed something to light up the cigars. And in those days, I mean, if you wanted to light up a cigar, I mean, you rub 2 sticks together, you took out your lighter. And so I invented the match. And
what does this match do?
Okay, well, you take the dark side, and you put it down and you scrape it against the cement, and you light up your cigar. It's about the simplest thing in the world. And
you said you scraped it on the cement. What happens if it rains outside? What would you scrape it on?
Oh well, I'm working. I've just perfected it. Just in the recent couple of days, it's a new invention. I think it's going to be very popular. It's called indoors. Yes, indoors. And
wait, you invented indoors?
Yeah. Indoors you can go if it rains. I personally use it all the time. I find I get fewer colds, and my feet don't hurt as much, and I sleep better like I never did before. It's one of the most amazing things.
That's really amazing. I find it really amazing.
And let's just reflect back on the experiences of WOPR, being in the studio. What was it like? What was it? What kinds of things did we experience?
It smelled good at all.
It was recycled air. That was the big problem.
Never replaced the carpet. It was like orange shag carpet.
No, well, the carpet was it had a chemical, a fresh, new. A new artificial chemical smell.
I think it had like sound reflecting properties.
That's exactly what we had. And then,
either that, or I think it was just dried up chewing gum. I'm not sure.
That might have been a problem as well.
Did people
but
smoke
recycled
in
air
there?
was the biggest problem.
Did they smoke in the station? I don't remember. Like in the back.
It probably was left over.
We didn't have.
But
a lot
we
of
had 2
smokers.
rooms. We had that front. Well, actually, we had 3 rooms. We had the sort of a small lobby area, and then we had the actual recording studio, and in the back we had a place for we had a couch back there and place to.
Well, we had 4 rooms. We had the front, which had the phone. Why did we have a phone? It never rang.
Every once in a while,
maybe an emergency if the studio caught on fire or something.
Yeah.
The middle was where the studio was.
That was the studio.
And it was like a U-shaped table. We had our Audio Technica 812 microphones, $88 a piece. I'm looking at it. We had one in front of the console, one off to the side.
Mm-hmm.
The third room was where we had the Heathkit transmitter that somebody built out of spare parts.
Yes.
And a big cabinet that had all the records and stuff that I stole after. And then in the back, we had like a hangout room. That had a couch.
Yes, back was the hangout.
Typewriter to write the news and stuff.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's also where we played Trivial Pursuit at the end of the year. Then we had marathon sessions of Trivial Pursuit during the marathon.
And now it's the computer lab. It's all been torn out. I don't know if you've ever seen it, but can't even recognize like where the space was.
No,
it's all just been ripped out. The walls are gone.
There's nothing there. It's all gone. It's all a memory, and we are we were the guardians. We are there to make sure that people of the future know what was once in E-Wing.
Yeah.
Is the planetarium still there up on the second floor? People are always shocked if I run out of conversation at a party. I can always say, our high school had a planetarium. Your high school had a planetarium? Yes.
It was a great place to make out with your girlfriend and just hang out in the dark, and we had it made back then. I don't think we knew it.
We had an auto shop too, and I actually took auto maintenance. Different auto mechanic. I took the introductory course. I learned what a breaker bar was and what an Allen wrench was. And
I took shop, and all I remember was Junior Royal ran out of the paint room and said, "Who got paint on my snake?"
Who got paint on my snake?
He brought like a shriveled up snake. I don't know why he had it in there, and somehow it got paint on it, and he was looking at me. Somehow he decided that I had painted his snake.
Oh my!
So
that never happened to me.
He became like a professional, cage fighter after. So it was actually a pretty scary moment.
No, that never happened to me. I did take shop, but no, I just tried to get in there and get out of there as quickly as possible without injuring myself or anyone else. But that was you got to take the good with the bad. There were some. I think generally speaking, it was not. For me anyway, high school was not the living hell that it's so often is for many people.
Yeah, no, I have nothing but fond memories. I said, of course, I'm heavily medicated right now.
You're heavily medicated. Of course, you were back then too.
Yeah,
that's why you wrote such great stuff.
Different meds. All right, so some of the characters. Let's see. We had, of course, Jacques Cousteau.
Jacques Cousteau and Dr. Louis Follett, his intrepid documentarian.
Was there really a Dr. La Follette?
There was not, but I had taken Mrs. Finn's honors history course, and we talked about Robert La Follette of Wisconsin, and so the name was very much in my mind. So
because you were paying attention.
Because I was paying attention. I actually liked that. I had a good time in that course. Yes, but and Jacques Cousteau was still alive at that moment. And I never, this is neither here nor there, but I never thought Jacques Cousteau would actually die. I was one of those people that I thought was immortal, that he was never going to leave us, and then he did.
How'd that work out for you?
It did not. That was a lesson, the hamsters, the dying hamsters, that didn't do it for me. The floating goldfish made no impression on me. But it was Jacques Cousteau, a man I never even met.
But you feel like you knew him.
Less than death. Of course, because he had
through our radio dramas.
Stop that ridiculous noise. This is Jacques Cousteau, and I am searching for the ship, the Clyde Fitzgerald. We are on the ship Calypso, and we are searching for the wreckage, which is at the bottom of the Marianas Trench, 27,000 feet down. With me on this expedition is Dr. Louis Lafollette. Bonjour, Dr. Lafollette.
Bonjour, Jacques.
Oh, it is you who is making these ridiculous ship sounds.
No, it is the ship itself. What
Dr.
is so
Lafollette,
funny?
you cannot fool me. I have seen people try and imitate ships before.
That is the ship. I swear. See, it goes when I talk. See, I'm trying to tell you.
Dr. Lafollette, what have you discovered about the ship Clyde Fitzgerald?
I have discovered that the ship Clyde Fitzgerald is on the bottom of the sea somewhere. Probably in the Marianas Trench.
Dr. Lafollette.
Which is why we are in the Marianas Trench searching for it.
I must laugh, because we already know that.
Are you crazy? You didn't know that. That's why we are here.
Dr. Lafollette, I would like to ask you one simple question. Why is it that you are a French scientist and I am a French scientist, yet we are both speaking English?
Well, you see, our voices are being overdubbed by the people at WOPR.
Oh, I see. Oh,
so continue?
That makes sense. Yes, Dr. Lafollette.
Yes, Jacques.
Would you like to take one more crack at going down into the Marianas Trench to search for the Clyde Fitzgerald?
Yes, I think since that was our main objective to come here, that we should actually go and look for it without any problems. I see the water has stopped. It has come back again. As you hear, the water has calmed down. I think we should go dive right this minute.
We dive down really, really, really deep. As a matter of fact, we dove down 27,000 feet.
Gee, what a lucky dive, wouldn't you say, Jacques?
Yes, except I forgot my flashlight.
Okay, I'll stay down here, and you go back and get it.
I went up, I swam as fast, and brain damage resulted, but it was fixed. I came back down with a flashlight. Dr. LaFollette, do you see what I see?
Yes, Jacques.
Stop crying, Dr. Louis.
The water is stopping again.
No,
it is not a good
not
sign.
Not that. The Clyde Fitzgerald.
Is that the Clyde Fitzgerald?
I think that's what we are looking for.
I always imagined it to be a little bigger, though. Well, let's take a closer look.
Holy smoke.
That is not the Clyde Fitzgerald.
It is a 63 Plymouth.
Oh, no.
All this work for nothing.
A 63 Plymouth.
Let me take out the little sheet of paper on the Clyde Fitzgerald.
Let's see, the Clyde Fitzgerald is 1,800 yards long. Let's measure this to make sure it is not the Clyde Fitzgerald. 3 yards long.
I do not think so.
You think that the Clyde Fitzgerald could have shrunk in this time?
I do not know. It could not be. Let's see, it says it weighs 30,000 tons.
I don't think
I
this
do not
weighs
think
30,000 tons. Jacques, I have an idea.
What?
Why don't we take the hubcaps and get out of here?
Good idea, Dr. Louis LaFollette. You know, it's a wonder we do not die down here because of the fresh air.
Yes, it is a wonder, or the scary dolphins. But let us go to the top quickly and look at what we have found.
Hey, Jacques, what did you find this time?
We found the hubcaps for a 64 Plymouth.
And do you think we wouldn't find anything? Jacques. You found only hubcaps. You come looking for the Clyde Fitzgerald, and you find a lousy car. How did you know it was a car? I thought, hey, there might not be hubcaps on the rudder of a ship. What do you know? You are a...
An imbecile! Stop this man! He is upsetting me!
Oh, shut up, Louis, before I threw something sea-like to you.
Oh, no! Will you make me walk the plank?
Yes, that is something sea-like. The next day, I had Louis LaFollette walk the plank. It was the funniest thing because in Luzon, in the Philippines, they saw somebody driving on shore in a 63 Plymouth.
So I think last we checked, they were looking for the hubcap for a 63 Plymouth.
A 63 Plymouth.
In the Marianas Trench.
The Marianas Trench.
Do you think
yes.
they're still there, like 35 years later?
I'm pretty sure. I don't know what kind of effect extreme pressure and low temperature has. I'm guessing it's pretty well preserved, the hubcaps.
I mean, once the signal shut down from WOPR, I don't know if they were ever able to find their way back. Maybe they're still waiting for us to fire up that transmitter again.
We could find out. I don't know, by going over there and... I don't know, you got some free time to go to the Marianas Trench?
Let's go. Let's go take a look.
Let's do it.
So, we dive down really deep.
Really, really, really deep.
And what did we find? Wait, which accent am I supposed to do?
I don't know. Let's go again.
I forget which guy I am.
You are.
I'm
you are Dr. Louis.
I'm Dr. Louis.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Because you
Jacques.
point out our voices are being perturbed.
We have entered the bathysphere, Jacques, and
Yes.
we are diving down really deep to see who is down in the Marianas Trench.
Or what? Because you know the hubcaps that we were looking for many decades ago.
The
These
hubcaps
are an
have
hot item.
rusted away to nothing.
Yes.
And
They are
now all those kids use the spinner wheels.
The kids today, I swear,
They don't know from
with
the hubcaps
their iPhones,
and their big wheels.
their big wheels and crazy cars.
All right, so we are
It's
here.
a good thing that we can heavily edit this later on.
No, I'm leaving all this stuff in. So, Dr. La Follette, how come you think... wait. Oh, no, I'm... All right. Jacques, you know, it's funny. On Skype, it sounds like you're underwater, so we don't even have to add the effects in. Why do you think we lost the signal from WOPR?
It could be one of many things. It could be a funding difficulty. It could be the fact that the unbelievably weak signal could not penetrate the thousands and thousands of sea meters between us and the surface.
I believe it was 10 watts when the hamsters had eaten all their pellets. Also, that Mr. Ferndale has been taken hostage by some terrorists.
This is unfortunate, for he was, as you know, our benefactor, Mr. Ferndale. Yes, he financed this expedition so that we could go and find the wreckage of the Clyde Fitzgerald. But
we owe him a great deal.
we owe him a great deal. We owe him a salute. We owe him one of those French kisses on both sides of the cheeks.
I will leave that up to you, Jacques.
I will take care of this as soon as
I heard you swing that way. All right. So,
Well, where are we now? How many feet / meters are we? You know that the United States, I heard from the last, when we were on the surface, that the United States was actually going to go over to the metric system.
I believe
This was
that
in
will happen
1983.
any day now. I've been
Any day
waiting
now.
since 1975 when they told me in elementary school it would happen.
Yeah, it was in the weekly reader.
Correct.
told-
Highlights
We were told in
magazine.
the weekly reader that President Ford wanted us to be good citizens and learn
It was
the metric
in
system.
Bananas magazine.
It was in bananas. It was in dynamite.
Dynamite.
It highlights. It was
With-
everywhere.
With Sean Cassidy and Christy McNichol on the cover.
You know, the last thing I want to do in life is to disappoint Leif Garrett. So I would like to know how long.
Because he was made for dancing all night long.
This would be a good time to play the PSA on the metric system.
This would be a good time to do anything else other than what we are doing right now.
If you needed help or information about serious blood diseases, would you know where to turn to get the facts? Try the Children's Leukemia Foundation, CLF. For 33 years, CLF has helped people, regardless of age, to cope with the traumas of leukemia and related blood diseases. CLF is a Torch Drive United Way agency which provides assistance for 23 kinds of serious blood diseases. Over half of all patients served are adults. So, if you have questions about leukemia, Hodgkin's disease, sickle cell anemia, or any serious blood disease, please call WOPR and inquire about the Children's Leukemia Foundation. Big enough to help, but small enough to care. Call 548-9677 or 546-0073 to pledge and learn more about how you can help.
All right, that's about as far back down memory lane I care to travel.
There was also Cary Grant.
There was.
you remember.
Let's see what I have, though. I've got General Foods.
General Foods, with General Foods. In a meeting with General Mills and General Electric.
General Electric, huh?
Yes, sir. I can get you major funding.
Major funding?
Yes, he's here with Private Eye.
Never mind them. Give me corporal punishment.
Corporal Punishment is in Washington with Colonel Korn.
Oh, no.
Well, I could get you Colonel Sanders.
No.
Why not?
He's dead, sir.
Twist and Shout.
Twist and Shout.
Twist and Shout, I believe, was our experiment into deep echo manipulation of the sound, and also using recycled tape where you could actually hear the last version that was recorded out of time underneath this one.
Well, my name is Ari,
June, then we'll be done. Don't you worry, and don't you fret, 'cause the best is not over, and we ain't done yet. And we wake in the morning and never fall back to sleep, 'cause we're so anxious to get through with the week. And we have had Scotty and done luck on our show. Even told Gandhi just where he could go.
All right, so let's see what else we have here. Count's Strike and Stick was our first bit.
That was number one.
How did we write these? We came in early, like 15 seconds early.
You
maybe?
actually, well, no, that one you suggested a couple of days before. You said, well, I've got an idea for Count Strike and Stick, and then let's see if we can come up with something. And then, of course, I took German.
And since we didn't come up with anything, that's what we did, right?
That's what it became. And, of course, I took German later on and realized that it would have to become Streichenstich, probably. That would probably be a better...
Live and learn. Did I pick you up every morning?
Every morning you pick me up.
In my 74 Buick. In my 63 Plymouth.
Buick?
I was a 74 Buick LeSabre.
It had a plywood... a board out over the passenger side floor.
It was a holy vehicle.
When you drove through puddles, your
passengers. I gave someone a ride once, and they put their backpack down, and then next thing they knew, it was on the road because it had gone through the floor and out the back.
Oh,
but this was a safe vehicle for a teenager to drive. Not a problem. It had no structural integrity whatsoever.
No, and then of course turning the corner. I think it was on Church and Oak Park Boulevard. No, that would have been the other side. Anyway, at one point I did fall out of the car because the door was loose onto the pavement. Fortunately, though, it was 6:45 and no one was out there. So
right, you just slid on the ice probably into a soft landing in the bank of snow.
Kids don't understand today. You just get back into the car and you keep going. And that was I was very grateful for a ride to school every day. That was a treat because you were on the other side of Coolidge.
I was on the other side of the tracks. That's true.
The other side of the tracks. So we got there. We would turn on I guess it had to be a little earlier, not 6:45.
Well, because the tubes had to warm up and the transmitter.
The tubes had to warm up. The transmitter we had to
which
turn
was also
on.
our heat in the studio.
So we turned on the transmitter as soon as we got there, and then began the panic. What are we going to do today? What are we going to do today?
We didn't always turn on the transmitter.
We didn't always. Once we did not, and we
was that our first show where we forgot to turn on the transmitter?
No. That was
later.
We had been doing it for a couple of weeks, and then we got to turn on. And there was a desperate plea by both of us. If anyone can hear us, please let us know. Never dreaming that if we didn't turn on the transmitter and that people didn't hear us, it would pretty much have the same effect on the world.
The problem was, even when we had the transmitter on, nobody still listens, so there would be no way to know either way.
No, although in the first, we had people, we had special guest listeners. We had our principal, Dr. Lloyd Peterman, promised to listen in at least once. Yes, I ran into him, one of the few sightings of our principal, and told him that we were going to be on. And I think he requested. I said any requests, and I think he said something like Beethoven's Fifth or some of the one of the war horses.
Turn the transmitter back off. I think.
Turn the transmitter back off.
All right, so go. I stepped on you there. So set the scene. So I pick you up. We roll in.
Okay. We roll in. Yes, if we were lucky, we would get to the parking lot. We would. I guess you were the guardian of the keys. A smart person would not entrust me with the keys. We would immediately turn on the transmitter.
I must have had keys to get in, yeah.
We turn on the transmitter. We would wander around. We would breathe that recycled air, which was still weeks old, and we would try to come up with something. We would try to come up with something interesting.
first day. We got there late and the man was waiting for us. The car was slow and the weather was bad and I wished we had a bus. We went on the air on our first show. Nobody really cared. Could we risk being funny? Nobody really cared. You see, I've been in a meeting with the manager. The show was really a mess. On the radio, they remember your name, 'cause they're the ones that they give the blame. On the second day, we were told to tone down. We were being silly. My partner and I, we both agreed, but we thought, what rhymes with silly? Third day, we were writing a skit and we messed up royally. I kept on thinking who to kill, my partner or me. On the fourth day, I began to feel the waking up at 5:30. Most of the time I was okay. I was sleeping in chemistry. Vacation came to our little place. We got a tiny break. I said to the man, can we get paid? He said, go jump in the lake. You see, I've been in the meeting with the manager. The show was really a mess. On the radio, they remember your name, 'cause you're the one that they give the blame.
Why didn't we ever come up with anything interesting? What do you think that was?
I think we did. I think we did on occasion. We
had a few shining moments.
Did. I mean, you take this is our first foray into anything really.
Yeah, that's it. We're just babes in the woods.
Babes in the woods. There was and like as with many things produced by people, a lot of it can be forgotten or suppressed
through years of therapy.
Through years of therapy, yes, and suppressed from the audience as well. But and then there were some good things, and things went wrong, and things went right, and so then you would, and the best part, the very best part was this time. The best part was that you would really keep track of what was coming up musically. And so what we were playing was not what we could get from the bargain basement record department. This was stuff that was coming up.
Now everybody, hey, get out of your seat and get your feet moving to the beat of the bum rap. Now this all got started one cold winter morn when me and the boys were playing at home. There was Ed and Bob and Joe and Phil, John and Ray, Charles and Bill. Bum rap, yeah. Well, we all know a man named Hound. He searches through the garbage and eats what he found. So we decided to write his song. And it can't be too short, oh, and it can't be too long. Bum rap, bum rap. So that's how this song got writ. You might think it's great, and then you might think it's... But now it's time for us to go. So we will leave you with a drum solo.
We had bum rap.
Bum rap I did on my Casio. I remember that.
We had also in speaking of musical composition, we had the background to Jacques Cousteau, which was your playing the guitar, I think, in the bathtub.
Yeah.
Was that?
It was a combination of me playing guitar with this faucet running in the sink.
With the faucet running. That's it.
It was strangely effective.
It was. I was convinced.
The Chipmunks. So what about the Chipmunks?
The Chipmunks was a result of trying to think of something else to do. It's interesting. I still use this technique. You try to come up with something. You try to delay writing something by writing something else.
Okay, I'd like to introduce our special guest for today. We've had him on the show once before. He was sort of roaming through the studio, making all sorts of trouble for the morning guys. But he's back again. He apologized to us, and he also agreed to do a special interview, which is special in itself, just because he usually doesn't do interviews. Sorry for my voice there. I'm not fully awake yet. I will wake up. Anyways, I'd like to introduce Alvin. Hello, Alvin.
Hello, Rob. I thought there were two of you.
Well, yeah, Ari is. Hey, Ari.
What?
Alvin's here.
Yippity-doo-dah.
He'll be right in, Alvin.
Okay.
Everyone wants to know one thing. What is David Seville really like?
What's he like?
I asked you first.
Well, what's he like? What's he like? Well, kind of tall.
Well, what have you been up to, you and Cy and Ted?
Well, Cy is into acorn processing, and Ted runs a sweater business.
Sweaters and acorns?
Hey, I mean, we gotta survive. You think sweaters grow out in the field?
Out in the field?
My God, and acorns don't go on... Wait, listen, kid. I think we can live okay without some two-bit DJ trying to...
Alvin, what are your plans for the future?
I'm going to the store, man.
No, come on.
Oh, okay, I see what you mean. Yeah, I'm off to Finland for a 3-week show.
Finland?
Yes, and then it's off to Mongolia for the People's Democratic Zany show.
I
know, okay. All right, here goes. I still want a hula hoop.
Oh, thank you. I knew you wanted me to do that. I mean, I knew I wanted to hear that, and you did that for me. I'm really happy. You're a great guy, Alvin. But anyways, we have to go. So say hi to Simon, say hi to Theodore, and, of course, Dave.
Okay. Bye.
So we did the Chipmunks. We were recording from one thing to another. For example, from carts to reel-to-reels, back to carts to reel-to-reels, using patching. Oh my God, such technology that we had. Now of course,
do you think I knew how to make the Chipmunk sound before we were messing around the machines, or maybe we had the machines in the wrong speed and thought it sounded like the Chipmunks? I mean, how would we have known how to do any of this stuff before the internet?
It probably was through accident or just not being familiar with the equipment on the first day, welcome to WOPR, that kind of thing.
There they are.
I don't. Yeah, that's as good an explanation as any. So, but the Chipmunks, we had that. We did interviews with Chipmunks. We did an interview with Sheldo the Talking Shoe, if you remember.
That one I don't have archived.
I may have that somewhere. Sheldo the Talking Shoe.
We'll have to look for that one. DJs in Space, of course.
DJs in Space.
That was a big hit.
Yes, with Clint and Dirk off into space.
And the Square records in that faraway galaxy.
Yes, absolutely.
DJs in space. Yes, DJs in space. The continuing story of Clint Schlub and Dirk Ellipse in their never-ending quest to rid the universe of evil, destruction, and dirty records. In our last episode, Clint had just contacted Dirk asking him to rescue him when...
I'm gonna get those guys, or my name isn't Grudge, evil ne'er-do-well and villain of the story.
Yeah, and my name isn't Ousa Mabel.
Shut up, it isn't.
Grudge, come on, listen to me. Clint Schlub is on our planet. Right now, if you hurry, you can get him.
I know that boy Blunder. I have a plan to get those degenerate DJs and rid the world forever of those rotten schlamaz.
Schlamazzles?
Schlemiels.
Schlemiels?
Schlamazel.
Oh,
Incorporated.
Meanwhile, Clint is waiting for rescue and is trying to contact Dirk's ship.
Help!
Is that you, Clint?
Of course, simpleton.
I was come to rescue y'all.
Thank you. Where are you?
I was in my ship. You know, we got this new kitchen.
Silence. What are your coordinates?
My coordinates? Let's see. Oh, these little dials here, ain't they sweet? Let's see. Let's turn that. Oh, well, I don't know. I don't have many coordinates. I got some cheddar cheese.
Just put on the narrator.
Okay. Hey, narrator, why don't you come over here? I'm not ready yet. Come over here.
Will Clint be rescued? Will Grudge capture Clint before it's too late? And what about those square records in the next galaxy? Stay tuned for the next thrilling episode of DJs in Space.
And we had Frank and Frank want to be your lawyers.
Hello, I'm Frank.
I'm also Frank. We're lawyers.
We want to be your lawyers.
We've had over 30 cases, so we know what we're doing.
Our family's been in the business over 45 years.
Here's a lady what was cheated out of $40 by a song company.
Who are you?
But she came to us and we gave her an IOU for $40. Aren't we sweet?
This bum was run over by a car. Boy, did we feel bad for him.
Do you want legal service? Don't go to those big law firms. Come to Stein, Leibowitz, Herzog, Bowman, Klein, Hopper, McCullough, and Kincaid.
We're good, and if you don't win your case, we'll feel bad for you.
Frank and Frank. Oh my gosh, Frank and Frank. We want to be yours. Yes, we had Stein, Leibowitz, Herzog, McCullough, and Kincaid, which I reused in a play. I reused part of that law firm.
So it didn't go to waste.
No. Some of these came back in different forms. Not that I would use it exactly the way it was. That would be disrespectful.
We had the commercial for the classical music that was actually written by Kiss and Missing Persons.
That's right. Hey,
do you know this lovely melody?
That might withstand the test of time.
I'm sure you recognize this lovely melody as the Nutcracker Suite. But did you know that the original theme is by Missing Persons? Yes, so many of today's best-loved melodies were actually written by popular singers. Like this familiar theme. It was written by Kiss. And now you can have the best-loved melodies as part of your permanent record collection. Write to Robbie and Ari at 46113 Schmendrick Avenue, Buenos Aires, 00047.
And what we had most of, and this again goes into the category of wasting time or trying to think of using the time when you're trying to think of writing something by writing something else. I know it sounds strange, but it does work sometimes. We would create a lot of promos for our show, which was really good for other DJs. I think of this as a service for other DJs because they could just slam in a cart for 30 seconds or a minute and hear an advertisement for the morning guys.
From around the nation and the world, WOPR's Morning Guys have received critical acclaim.
Witty and brilliant.
New York Times.
I wish I had those guys on our show. They'd really boost our ratings.
Jeff and Jerry, Magic Radio.
Geniuses.
Washington Post.
They be so stupid.
Anonymous Student.
Tune in Monday through Friday at 7 o'clock for zany comedy, news, and your favorite music. FM 90 WOPR.
Are we bad or what?
During our marathon, do you remember the special hour we had during the marathon when we had guest DJs?
The marathon, for those people who don't remember, was when we were like
everyone.
When we were like a normal radio station and we were on for 24 hours.
Where can you hear great music, informative interviews, and much more for 250 consecutive hours and benefit the Children's Hospital of Michigan at the same time? Right here, only on FM 90 WOPR, Oak Park's public radio station, when we present Marathon 83 in cooperation with the Children's Hospital of Michigan. Beginning on Friday, June 10th at 7 in the morning and continuing through Tuesday, June 21st at 5 in the afternoon, listeners are encouraged to make donations which will benefit the Children's Hospital and help cover the station's operating costs. Pledges can be made by calling 548-WOPR or 546-0073. And all pledges, by the way, are tax deductible. The marathon will include interviews with hospital personnel, special music programming, talk shows, and celebrity interviews. A highlight of the marathon will feature guest air personalities from the Detroit metro area radio stations. So tune in to Marathon 83 and help the Children's Hospital of Michigan and FM 90 WOPR, where there's something for everyone.
We had our manager, Mr. Ferndale, he arranged for some real big-time DJs to come in.
That's right. That's right. Yep.
So he was on the ball. I'm sorry.
Oh, I was just going to say, to put a button on this.
Yes.
So what do you think the experience of being a morning comedy radio show host did for you in your future endeavors? Do you think it did anything? For me, I don't know if it did at all.
Well, you went into the what industry? You went into the music industry. You had to patch things, I assume. You had to.
Yeah, that's true.
You had to edit.
Yep.
You had to.
Well, technically, yeah, but I mean, as far as writing comedy and
Oh yeah, well, it certainly taught me the value of writing for speed, even if you have
as opposed to writing on speed.
Writing on speed, which came in college.
Yeah.
That was.
Oh no, I mean, yeah, for my career, certainly it was definitely helpful from the technical side, and
and we didn't get a chance to sift through as much as we wanted to, which was fine. It was a very good way to experiment, to say here's we're going to throw out some things, and it was not like it was not like network time and every minute was $300,000. No, it was
probably a pretty good confidence builder too. I mean, you could say anything you wanted and nobody at all was listening, so it didn't really matter.
And we didn't, we were good boys. We didn't. I don't think we were trying to. We weren't shock jocks.
That's true.
People were.
We were schlock jocks.
We were schlock jocks. We did a lot of schlock. We had the news too. We delivered the news. Don't forget about that. What I was going to say before was I forgot who the guest DJs were. It wasn't Jeff and Jer. It was someone of the same ilk and same level. They came in, and for an hour they played Wooly Bully. If you remember that. And they introduced it as a different song each time. So here's a little song that my wife, it's very important for my wife and me. It was playing during our first date, and it was, it's Love, Love Me Do. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. And it was Wooly Bully. And I laughed every single time they played it.
There is a recording in the Oak Park time capsule of the radio station, way before us.
Way before us.
On tape, that's sitting in a little, it looks like a six-sided mushroom or something in front of City Hall there.
Oh, yes.
And
yes,
in 2075, I believe they're going to pull it out and get to listen to that.
Oh, my gosh, yes.
And it'll be dust by then, but...
It will be dust.
Maybe
like
they'll
the
have some
caps
way to, like,
yeah.
reconstitute the dust into a tape again.
Well, people do that. They can reconstitute those Edison wax cylinders. They can certainly get something from 1975 to work.
Well, I look forward to that. Why don't we say we make another date for 2075?
2075, we can do that.
Out in front of the City Hall at the time capsule.
I'll be the one in the plaid pants and the the golf shirt. What? It's a time capsule. I'll have a Yiddish accent by then.
Well, you'll have a little while to develop it, or a French accent.
Well, that one is yes. Fortunately, we were both French students at the time.
All right, Jacques, I am going to push the red button here.
Okay,
and stop the recording.
Okay, I hope you will do a lot of editing of the boring stuff.
For FM 90.3 WOPR, I am Dr. Louis Lafollette.
And I am Jacques Cousteau.
Signing off for another 35 years. Peace out.
Wait a minute. Wait. Before you do.
Hey, Slim.
Yeah, hey, partner.
It's time to go.
Yeehaw.
For Robbie and Ari. Bye.
Hey, Slim.
Howdy, partner.
It's time for the next show.
Oh, dang.
Dang.
Dang it.
For Robbie and Ari. Bye.